Hey everyone, it's us, Steve and Colin, with Who's It Anime, talking about Gantz. It's our last episode of Gantz.
It is.
Oh joy, we can bask in the sunlight that is the ending of Gantz.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
The light at the end of the tunnel.
We will talk a little bit at the end of the episode about some plans for next year based on, the way this year's gone. But until then, we can dive straight into the last two episodes of Gantz, episodes 25 and 26. First one, Let's Go Back Alive. And this one kind of takes off this is kind of running into all of each other. So we're at the point now where Kay's teacher is dead.
Yeah.
And the two hobo murderers have escaped effectively.
Yep.
And the rest of them are in pursuit.
Well, they're grouped outside the bar, and basically the shopkeeper's like, right, we've got to do it. Do this thing. And then the business guy was like, no, I'm sick and tired of this shit. And then you go and do it. And like, you egotist. And it's like, egotist? Like, fine, I will do it. And so he goes off on his own, the shopkeeper. And then Nozaki was like, hey, you kind of wanted to stay alive, right? No. It's like, yeah, those guys will just come and kill you anyway. If we don't,
if we die, they're gonna come for you.
Yeah. And he's like,
oh
yeah, that's a good point. All right, let's do it. So they all go off, and then they go to a funeral home.
Yeah, they find we've skipped that. There is the scene that kind of runs with this, where the hobo killers have found a closet of weapons.
Yeah, a stash of actual bullet guns.
Yeah, that Gantz wants them to have.
Yeah. I was like, how did they get those weapons? Oh, Gantz.
Gantz wants them to have them.
Just Gantz.
Yeah, and then so they are holed up in this place. And we've got the bookstore owner, who is Furuta, who is like dead set on saving this young child, and like making sure that he, isn't, because obviously like that kid has been messing with them and saying, like, this guy makes me do it, and he's like, maybe not.
Yeah.
And
they're following the blood trail of the guy.
Yeah, they're following, and I should say as well, it's quite funny actually when they first arrive at that place. He's like, the one that's been cut in the head is arguing. And he's like, hey, you're really slow. What's up? And he's like, fuck you. And just kind of like collapses face first on the ground.
Yeah. Like, sweet, he's dead.
It's a weird comedy beat. Like it's the same kind of thing where the guys are trying to reattach their hands. Yeah. It's that thing of like, there's quite a dark moment. Yeah. That is really quite funny. Speaking of which, I did just watch. This is kind of giving away like time when we record this, but I did just watch Hocus Pocus with my kids. Like
before
the the first one.
Oh, yeah.
And the start of that movie is the witches like sucking the life force out of a young girl.
Yeah.
And then they kill they don't kill the brother. They turn him into a cat. But then the townspeople turn up at the door. And look at it, and they're like, come out, and they're like, just a minute, and like one of them goes, quickly cover the kid, and there's just the kid's corpse in a chair, and they just throw a blanket over it. In a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I was just like, that's incredibly dark. They're just like, ugh.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's kind of stuff we got away with. Wasn't that was 90s?
That was 1993, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we got away back in those then, because no one cared.
My brother and I must have watched that like 70 or 80 times.
I don't think I've actually ever watched that movie.
Oh, it's real good. It's really good.
Maybe I watched it once.
It's exceptionally good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. Like a proper persisting childhood favorite movie. Up there with like Muppets Christmas Carol and Muppets Treasure Island.
Oh yeah. Crack them
And
out.
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas. Oh god.
Telling you now. Watch Surf Ninjas.
Watch Surf Ninjas. Maybe one day. We'll see. It's really hard to actually watch movies because no one wants to watch the movies. But I'll just have to do it my own.
I'll bring a copy of. I own Surf Ninjas. I'll bring that to you.
How many copies do you own of Surf Ninjas?
Oh, like 2. It's not a very well printed. I have the old VHS that I had as a kid, and I have the DVD. So
why do you have multiple copies of the same movies?
Transformers the movie is an exception.
Yeah, how many copies though?
11.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's the problem. Like that's nothing to do with just having multiple copies of a movie. That's a mental issue.
That's a mental issue. Okay. Glad we covered that one up. Talking about mental issues, so they're in the funeral home.
Yep.
And Kay and that go in, and they suddenly get attacked from above by the dude goes, ha ha! And then the shopkeeper's like, oh, wait, how did they get there first? Type thing. And then he kind of runs into the room, and the kid's behind a kiosk or something.
It's like a counter.
Yeah. And he's like, yo, because they're about to shoot him. It's like, no, don't do that. Because he appears. It's like, dude. And he's like, I'm going to convince him not to it. And it's like, yes, you're right, old man. Here's my gun. Whipped out a bazooka.
Yeah, using him as a stand for the bazooka.
Yeah. And it just deafens him mostly. It's like, oh man.
And when the rubble clears, like the salaryman is in bits.
It's just like his neck's got.
It's like his head has literally been ripped off of his shoulders, effectively.
Yeah,
but still kind of attached.
yeah, big hole in his neck. And Nozaki, because he's the one that was kind of in the line of fire, that was like, oh, and he kind of got blown away, but is kind of hurt by it.
Yeah.
And then the shopkeeper basically resolves to go, right, I can't really kill from the kid, so I'm going to go after the kid, and then you guys go after the other guy, because the other guy's like really pissed off at him, because god damn that guy. And he slunks away through another door. So Kay and Nozaki go after
Fujiyama. What's his name?
The older dude, the older insaner.
The older hobo killer.
Yeah. And what's his name? The shopkeeper and Mika go after the younger.
Furuta and Mika go after the younger of the two.
Yeah.
And we get to... So yeah, it's just those 4 left now, right?
Yeah, just those 4 left, yeah. So...
Yeah.
What is this? Episode 25?
25.
Yeah.
We basically get to the point where they catch up with the dude.
Yeah.
The younger guy, and he gets the drop on them, and decides to have fun.
So basically, shopkeeper goes up, points the gun, and goes, "Right, dude, you really got to not be this." And he's like, "Yeah. I'm going to have to deal with you." I never does, and then he's at his stash. He's finding a grenade. So, I thought I had more of these. But he picks up a gun in the stash, goes back into the cupboard and picks up the gun and is like, just shoots through him.
Yep.
and he's kind of both his arms kind of like
Incapacitated.
and Mika's on the ground. And
She's been shot as well.
Yeah, to a degree, yeah.
Yeah, not fatally, but she's been hit. I'm pretty sure in the crossfire.
She's certainly in the ground. But is that not like next episode? Because
No.
Kei and Nozaki gets to the other room. Come along the corridor and they're in the room, and the older dude's like just laughing, ha 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 ha. So they like go in, and he's there with a feast, and it's like, look what Gantz has provided me. It's great. Yep. I feel no pain anymore.
It's like, hey, maybe there's something in the food, man.
Yeah, because it's just got like veins growing out his face.
Oh yeah, he is jacked.
Yeah, he's also lost an arm because he got shot out the ceiling earlier and lost an arm.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's the thing, and then do you see the shoot Nozaki down or something at this point? Because he jumps in front of Kei.
So yeah, I think we're kind of the way it works is we're going back and forward between the two scenes because right now we've got the younger guy Moroto who has basically tied up Mika like round her throat, this tight wire, and then attached that to the pin of a grenade and put it in the mouth of Furuta, and he's basically just beating her with a whip in the stomach as he does, like that's his thing.
Yeah, and it's like, don't move or you'll blow him up.
Yeah, don't do it.
Shopkeeper kind of just crying there. So I'm not sure if he tugs his head the wrong way.
No, I think we see Nozaki go down first. I'm pretty sure we get to the point where that guy, the older one, like pulls out the gun and starts firing, and Nozaki selflessly jumps in front
takes the bullet,
of Kei and takes all the hits, and
he says, he says along the lines like, Gantz isn't the sickest thing here. It's humans, and he kind of passes out.
Yeah, would have been interesting to see more of his character, like because like clearly a bit of a conflicted guy. Like we don't know anything about him other than he has rescued a child and now has chosen to take the bullets for someone he barely knows. Like why?
Yeah, well. Yeah, and his appearance essentially is like punk hair and nose rings, so he's more of an outcast type person.
Totally, he's not a conforming type.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something to that.
Yeah. Also, you find out that what's his name has like strapped the 4 grenades and a C4 to his back.
Oh, he is strapped a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then Kei starts talking to him.
He does.
And
he does a bit of hallucinating. But I think, well, actually, that's after, because the first bit we go to is the people who are tied down and have the guy Furuta. I think what happens is he deliberately lets go of the grenade.
Oh, the Furuta, yeah.
Yeah, he does that deliberately. It's I think it's supposed to be a moment of reckoning where he is. His whole message until now has been, I need to save this kid. I need to let him know how these things are wrong. And now we're in a circumstance where he is powerless to help this kid and to stop him from doing what is clearly awful. And I think he finally. There's a bit of give in this where it's like it doesn't make him less of a good person, but it means that he's going to have to play by the rules here. He's going to have to engage, and it's the only way he can do that is to drop that grenade.
Yeah, and should also state, like, while these acts of cruelty are happening, is both of them go through and say like how they're the nicer of the two.
Yeah,
And like,
that's right. Actually,
I'm the nicer one because I don't kill my victims straight away. I torture them to death.
I torture them.
Yeah,
You're like, okay.
yeah. And then the other
And
guy's
then
like, I don't just pick on women. Where the other
yeah,
guy
he's
goes,
like, yeah.
I'm the nicer of the two because I only attack
He's like,
women.
Yeah. I was like, you'll be the first man I've killed. Like, he's the first guy I killed.
Yeah,
like,
you
okay.
guys the first guys that killed, and I don't know. And it's like, yeah, sure, mate. That's makes you nicer. Yeah, all right.
Broken individuals.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we see that the grenade goes off. Furuta is in pieces. And
no more. He's obliterated. He's just
he's intestines. And then Mika has survived the encounter. And Morota is in agony. Like he's been burned basically by this grenade.
Yeah, because it's like a moment of shock when it actually happens. Like, oh shit!
Yeah, he just turns.
It's done.
And
yeah.
So
is that it?
No, well then we go to the bit where the other guy like Kay kicks him. Like he envisages him as the statue, the Buddha statue from the temple, or the god statue from the temple, and he kicks it and he's like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah. It bits him, and
then he blows up.
And then he presses the kill switch for some reason.
Yeah. So we know he's dead.
Yeah. Well,
but
it comes up on the screen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's toast, but we don't know what's happened to Kay yet.
Yeah, she'd also say that Gantz coming up very often with these messages of like, "Please die, don't die,
yeah,
please live," type thing.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like, what Gantz is and why he wants this is not known. And to be clear, we're going to talk about the last episode in a minute anyway. Yeah. It's never understood.
No,
like in this,
in the anime,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna do a massive, like, I have now managed to take 19 days off over Christmas, which I'm very excited for.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I am going to spend a lot of time reading, and I'm going to try and get my way through Gantz.
Okay. Yeah.
And I will report back on what happens.
What it's all about.
Maybe we could do a bonus episode.
A retrospective.
Oh, I can talk about like where it goes.
Yeah. Get to your day one.
Day one of reading Gantz.
Gantz has worked my mind.
I thought you were meaning like those TikTok memes where like day 3 I'm like in one of those cosplay suits and
yeah. No, you never know. Maybe you might disappear in the Gantz suit. It's like, oh shit, it's gone good.
So
wearing
yeah,
a dog mask.
That's the last bit of this episode. And we're about to go into the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? How do you rate this one?
It's got it's still good, and I'm still thinking 8 for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think there's like a high intrigue here. I'm really, really interested. And then we move on to the last episode, episode 26. Please live. And we find out at the start of this episode that obviously Kay has survived the explosion.
But his suit is broken.
His suit is bust, and he is going to try and find who's left. Yeah. Basically, he's staggering his way to hope. I think he sees that there's two dots left on the sensor.
Yeah, he's picked up the sensor from one of the guys'
from
bodies.
That dude. Yeah.
He's got a sensor, and he's also got the stealth mode on the sensor.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Wait, what?
Spoiler alert. He's got the stealth mode.
Self mode.
Stealth mode.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
What? It's stealth mode.
I was just taking a selfie with the.
Well, he maybe is.
I never noticed actually on the sensor, or maybe I did. Was his icon red?
No, I never noticed. But certainly there's two yellow ones.
The other two were definitely yellow.
Yeah.
I was just curious if his was a different color.
No, maybe.
Because we never like obviously like Gantz says he's the enemy, but I think like it becomes apparent like throughout these two episodes that Gantz just wants a fight. He just wants violence and he wants entertainment. Yes, him getting back at Kay is also a great thing for him, but he just wants to cause havoc.
Oh, no, Rick and Morty. Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
Yeah.
I like what you got.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so yeah, he makes it back to the funeral place, the actual a cremation area, and he gets to jump on him because he's using stealth mode.
Yep.
Beats him up a bit, and then he basically goes, I was abused as a kid, blah blah blah. He's like, well, that doesn't mean you should kill people. But
doesn't give you the right.
Yeah, and then there's like this weird justification of like soldiers are sent in to kill things. What gives them the right? They're being ordered to do it.
It gets really weird because it goes into, it's like, what about like all the war in Iraq? And
Yeah.
like, okay. And it's like, yeah, like think of all the people that died there. That's nothing. Like
Even
what I do is
Palestine.
nothing compared to that. Yeah, like Palestine. Like
yeah.
how prevalent. Like that's very relevant to now.
I mean, yeah, right now, but it's kind of relevant back then too.
It's always relevant. I think it's just very much in the news right now as well. So it struck me as like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that problem hasn't gone away yet.
No, it has not. 20 years later. Actually,
wow, it's been longer, man.
Actually, no. Just since the manga, the anime aired.
Yeah.
Like we are just less than a month away from the 20th anniversary of this show's final episode.
Yeah.
So we're actually covering Gantz on its 20th anniversary, pretty much.
Hey, how about that?
I hadn't really appreciated that.
And we did that with Charles Mancan.
Again, by complete accident.
Did it with some other show?
I think we might have done it with another show as well. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We do.
Was it Serial Experiments Lane? It's like the 25th anniversary or something like that.
Might have been that, yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, I think like it's weird. Yeah, he's trying to like provide a little color commentary of like, yeah, like it's not my fault. It's everyone's fault but mine. Like,
yeah,
I can't be held responsible for my actions.
Yeah, and this is like proper like moral conversation of like how do you determine what is right and wrong and why you should kill, and that is like, and Kale's like, I kill because we had to survive, and that's like, it's like that doesn't make any difference for me. But you're killing for fun. Which was never actually discussed because he didn't see it that way, but he is getting pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just this big moral conversation as they're beating up Kay and all that, and then he smashes the cremation door open, and then throws the door at Kay, but hits the button to turn on the flames, which then somehow instantly constant fire out the door. And Kay tried to turn it off because I'm burning.
Has Mika's been shot now? She's dead, right? At this point.
No.
No?
No. I don't think so.
I thought she died before the
battle. No. She dies. closer to the end.
Oh well, she's been shot. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's been shot and is dying, like effectively. Yeah, she's on the ground.
Yeah, he's like, I can still save you if we just get out of this in time.
Yeah,
I can save you. Type thing.
So yeah, that guy's on fire and screaming, and Kay's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I'll better save him. So he jumps through the fire to save him, and then he goes,
Again,
I want hot. This suit's amazing.
This suit's amazing. I didn't feel a thing. What a jerk.
Yeah.
But we're seeing like again, like this is another K. This is a different person because that's like this guy's a monster. He's killed friends. He's not a nice guy, but he's like, no, we're going to go home.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. We're going back. I'm not going to be responsible for your death.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially he ends up whipping out the trap gun and
he does
sends him away.
He's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to send you there. Where the fuck is there? It's like, no, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
But you're going there.
Yeah. And then Gantz is just timing out the time the counter's going down.
It's like 5 seconds, I think we're at by the time he disappears, and it stops.
Yeah.
And Kay runs over to Mika and it's like we can stop. This is it. Like we're going. Just hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah, don't die.
You'll be all right. And she basically blurts out at this point, going, "Oh, I know where I saw you. It was the train station. You mean the subway station?" It's like, yeah.
Yep.
And then she that was her last words. As she does die because she gets faded off the screen.
It's really harsh.
But
like
at the same time,
that timer stops.
Yeah.
And shows both their pictures to be like, they've won.
Yeah.
And hers just grays out.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
That's but he still picks up the body as he gets teleported away.
He does, yeah.
But then he teleports to the subway station. He's like, oh shit.
Why am I here?
Why am I here, Gantz? Not here, man. And like that's the same as when he and Katou was there doing the thing. And it's like, oh yeah, there's Mika. There's this other guy. There's the shopkeeper.
We start to realize, all the relationships all these people have. Like, it's not in every instance, or it's definitely not explored as to how other people have been involved, but these people have been near. They've been in their sphere of other people's existence.
Yeah, they've all seem pretty close. And then, for whatever reason, he gets on the train tracks and says, not one man can do this. How am I going to do this, Katou? Not one person can do this.
How am I going to do this?
Because he's seen Katou, like, doing it, and then he's running away from the train, and then he gets to the old lady. He says, "Oh, you're very helpful because you told me to find out myself. That's quite helpful. Thank you," type thing. It's like, all right, and then he stops, and then fuck you, Gantz, and he goes.
All of the people are there cheering him on.
Yeah, all the people that he's met in the things. So you can do it.
You can do it.
You can live. You can live. And then he points at the train, turns around and points at the train with his finger and goes, bang! And then it fades to white.
And then we go to credit. We come back.
Yeah.
Gantz just disappears.
Yeah, I think Gantz just disappears at that point.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like weird fancy credits of what's happened through the series.
Yep.
And then it cuts to back to the train, the rudely 3D train station with the train rolling right through.
Yep.
Nothing else. And that's it, yeah. It raises so many questions, man. So
what do you make of that then? What do you think the meaning of that is?
I think that Kay didn't die on the subway. He went into a coma and amalgamated all these people into his life, sorting his life out and making him a better person. And the light is him going somewhere. Maybe waking up. Or maybe it's a quantum loop thing. and he's been warped into someone else's life to sort out. Or maybe he just died.
I think it's tough. I think, to me, because he's got Mika on his back.
Yeah.
You know, he's carrying this body.
Yeah.
And I think like this end part is like an affirmation of his change. And it's like look at the positive impact you've had on all these different people, one way or another, small or big.
Yeah.
You know, your own issues aside, like, you have mattered. And to me, it's almost like I think in that moment, he chooses. It sounds defeatist, but I think he chooses to die, because I think it's an act of defiance against Gantz. I think it is a thing of, I'm not going to keep doing this for your entertainment. Like, I'm not, like, this is wrong, and the only way I can stop this, like, everything has been taken from me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to let you do that again, and I'm not going to be a part of you doing that again. And it's that last act of defiance against the train, which is the thing that killed him the first time. However, we see the train go through the empty station, and it doesn't hit anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of that. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't know if he's dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying, man. It could be quantum leap.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of an unsatisfying ending.
Yeah, it is. It's like, I really would want to know exactly the whole reason of Gantz.
What is Gantz?
What are the aliens?
Yeah, like, what's about?
Where are they going? What?
Where are we sending them to?
What's the deal with it? But then I don't know. Like I say, it could be his weird idea of like, just put things together and he's in a coma, or it's a dream thing. Like, I don't think I'm too far off with the whole Dallas Dreamland thing.
I don't know.
Retrospect, I mean, I think you might be right. It might be more defiance at the end. It's like, yeah, I got this, Gantz, because it takes down to 0 at that point.
It does seem like a bit of a fuck you to me.
Yeah.
Like, that to me, it's that thing of, it starts with, we play the rules, like, we can win this, we can get out, we're gonna go home, let's get back alive, like that, let's do this together.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, every reason he would want to go back is taken from him. And then he finds purpose to continue moving forward and to try to go back, by pushing that same to other people of, like, no, even if you're a total monster, you're going to go back. Like, I'm not going to be responsible for this.
Yeah.
And I do. It does feel to me, it's like I can't keep doing that. Like, you've taken away even that from me.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, what can I do?
Yeah, because he didn't get to go back with the initial. He got teleported somewhere else.
Yeah, well, the rules aren't fair. Like, at this point, it is literally this is for my entertainment. Like, there's supposed to be rules of the engagement and rules of the game, and these aren't it. You know?
Is it just the fact that he it's about life and life being unfair in a sense?
I think there's a lot to it like that.
I mean, most of it was like that. Where it was just bitter.
Absolutely.
It was just bitter about life and, like, fuck out that guy. Who cares? What about this? Oh, I don't really care about it. And then the last 4 episodes are all about, actually, let's come together as a group and work our way out of this.
And
which was spearheaded by at least the shopkeeper character.
yeah,
was a guy that, and even Kay at that point was like, yeah, okay. I was annoyed with Kettle with his way of thinking
Maybe he's
earlier,
right.
but that's the right way. He was
Yep.
the right person. He was a good leader. He's
I think
inspired me and stuff.
it's hard. Like I think there is a bit to this where it is about the breakdown of society and how terrible it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But the last couple of episodes, despite obviously what happens, it feels less doom and gloom. It feels like there's a bit of a healing going on here, where it's like, no, there are people who aren't that.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
people who like care about other people. So there's definitely something to that. I don't know if it's a case of him dying or not, and I almost am not sure if that's important or not.
It's I think it's basically trying to say you make the world what it is, essentially.
You get out of the world what you put into it.
Yeah,
and I think like that's very evident. Because it's all very self-fulfilling prophecy stuff of people who put violence in get violence out. There's like an opposite and equal reaction. People who put negativity out, they receive that back. And I think the frustration in this end is that there are people who are genuinely trying to put good out into this, and they don't get that back. Like that's not reflected to them. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try. It's not about like futility or anything like that. Although there is an element of futility in this as well, where it's like, yeah, how can you win against Gantz when he controls the rules? He holds all the cards. Like he seems to be able to just change the rules at the drop of a hat. What does it matter? Like I can't win, and if I can't win, why would I torture myself with this again and again and again and again?
Yeah, I mean, it's only until the end that he comes to that conclusion. Like no one else had that conclusion. Like everyone else, like, oh, screw this, and walked out, and then just got the head exploded because they went out of their zone.
Totally.
So,
like even the apathy that they put into it as well.
Yeah, even the dog was maybe more like that. He managed to play the game successfully enough that he didn't need to do anything.
Yeah,
until the temple one where he dies.
Like I say, I think there are some. As a whole, I think this is a good show. Like I do. Like it has its things that I think are uncomfortable and are not my jam. But at the same time, I understand why those puzzle pieces are there. Like
yeah, I think it could be shorter though. In that sense, I feel like they prolong the suffering and the awkwardness at the start.
I think that's intentional. Like to me, it is about painting that picture of just things are terrible. People are terrible.
Like the fast show skit where the guy is just like painting a beautiful painting, and then he just goes on like a massive depressive. It's like it's all black, and just starts painting it black.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Is that it's the groundwork. I think it's tough because I think the things that drew me to this is not so much the darkness. It was the really unique sci-fi trap like that it has. It's like I think it's really interesting. Like what a weird scenario is. People are like facsimiles of themselves at the moment of death, brought to a room where they're then sent out to hunt aliens in a game from an entity that we don't know who he is, what he is, where he's from, or why he's doing it. We understand nothing of it, and yet we engage with it because we want out. We don't want to be here.
Yeah,
and the rest of it, I think, like the darkness and the character growth and the seediness and are aspects of the show that, although they're not specifically my favorite part, they're all additional context and flavor to what the show is. It is definitely I think I would love to see this being redone to follow the manga.
Yeah, you want to read the manga first?
I think I'm gonna. Well, what I have done is I've read people's reviews of the manga, and they've said that it is just an infinitely better handled thing. And obviously, what they were trying to do here, it seems, is more about sort of commentary on societal things, or just a commentary on society in general. And I think that's fair, and I think there's merit to that. But it feels a shame to me that I think you have something that's a really, really interesting and unique concept. And all of this, so there's 30, how many? 40 books? So, like,
yeah, maybe.
I actually, maybe I'm wrong on that. It's more than that.
Depends on the books you get, I think.
37.
Yeah.
37 volumes. Which is a total of, how many chapters is that?
37.
370.
Wow. That's like 10 chapters a book. You
Yeah.
said 37 books.
There's 3 main arcs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the concept is that. It's, I don't know. I remember watching maybe 1 or 2 episodes of it. I was like, I never went back to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, until like the last 4 episodes, it wasn't really pulling my weight. It was just too, the world was a bit shit.
Yeah. I think, like,
Where,
well,
if we go back to Kino, I know I like that because it was just like a journey, and like the world's a bit shit, but that's kind of a cool journey, just to travel around and do stuff.
The difference with that is that you had a core character whose growth was not to do with them becoming a good person. They were a good person. That wasn't the journey for them. Their journey was living and seeing.
Yeah.
This journey is different. It's about a redemption and like a growth of a person from being, an uncaring, apathetic individual who's not contributing to society, not giving anything, and not outputting any positivity into the world.
Well, you could argue Kino was like that because she just didn't want to interact or change the outcome as much.
So I think that's fair, but I think that's more about that's almost a little bit sort of Animal Planet to me.
Yeah,
it's like I can't interfere.
Yeah,
like I just it's the prime directive. From Star Trek. I
heard that W. I heard that.
You did.
W.
I do it every goddamn time, and I don't even like Star Wars by any I like Star Trek much better. But I have always got them round the wrong way in my head for some reason. But it's that thing, I think, to me. But this one is a very different journey of a crap world.
Yeah. I suppose maybe it's a bit more realistic as well, where Kino's obviously like
it's
some
exaggerated.
fancy place where she just managed to travel, and every town that she comes to is country and has its uniqueness only to that country.
This is contemporary, which makes it harder.
Yeah, I think it made that, and then I see it,
and it's true. Like this stuff, like these things can happen and do happen. Not the alien shit, but
I mean,
the violence and the awfulness
and the cloning, all
the facsimiles.
Yeah,
it's all true. So what do you rate the final episode, Colin?
I mean, it's disappointing ending because it doesn't actually explain anything, but I think it's kind of a fitting ending too. In the sense that, it's like, this is the thing. I don't know. Like I said, the last 4 episodes were strong for me, so I'll be at 8.
Yeah, I think, like, actually, generally, I think, like, the last... Since episode 19, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like as soon as that big Daibutsu gets involved, the show just kind of goes like it just all kicks off from that point.
Okay, still being like, I'm the hero, I'm going to do this type thing.
He's a loony at that point still.
On that episode, but then everyone dies around him. Is like, oh wait, hang on, and then he actually gets kind of like interested in Sai more, and just like, oh, let's just have it off. Piff pass.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think an 8 is fair for the last one. Where does this exist on a tier list for you?
Oh, in the tier list.
Yeah.
In our tier list that we created last year.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. Probably middling ground for me.
Like B.
No, like C.
C's like bottom. CD is bottom. B's middle.
Wait. Oh, you had S at the top.
You've got S tier. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably B then. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's well animated. It's well drawn. It is captivating in a lot of places.
In parts.
Yeah, in parts.
Yeah,
like some of the stuff is a bit
some
bit
stuff
off.
a bit like the end with Tetsuo. He just does happy gleeful run. And like it's smaller than all the characters as well.
And the reboot 3D models used in the temple.
And the temple and the subway station.
Station, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the early days of 3D, I guess, being used in anime, so
early cheap 3D. Because you got also Ghost in the Shell, which was
that used
had the budget,
very expensive 3D. Like this is the foray into like utilizing it at a series level and not like a film production level, probably.
Yeah, it was certainly on a cheaper budget.
Yeah. So I think a B is fair. I don't think it's I like this show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is it ticks a lot of boxes for me in terms of the mysteriousness, the mystique, the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I think like facing your discomfort in some ways can be quite much in the same way as like, you know, watching a horror movie to be scared. I think sometimes there's a thing in watching something that brings a certain level of discomfort. Like horror does that to me sometimes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is it's a good show. It's a good show. I would definitely recommend it to people.
Yeah. It's not my bag, man.
I totally get that.
But I like the end. Then I like the kind of fuck you and for both to Gantz and to the viewer. Because we're not going to give you any more information.
No. Well, the thing is like the thing that always strikes me about this show, and the bit that I'm sure I spoke to you about before we started watching this again, was I have never felt the level of discomfort watching anything as I did when I watched the episode where they shoot the Green Onion alien.
Yeah, you did. You always come back to that.
It is a really, I think like because of the level of like where we're going into that, like nobody knows what's happening. Nobody knows what power they have. Nobody is sure about what's happening. That thing, the alien can't communicate with them. It's afraid. They're trying to get something from it, and then just the shock of it, like the realization of like what's actually happening in that situation is quite striking to me. And it always was that way. I remember watching it for the first time would be like 16 years ago, and just being like, fuck. That's like I stopped watching it after that episode for a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to watch more of that. I don't know if I could deal with that a lot. And I don't think it ever really goes to, like, obviously there's the grandkid bit, and there are some other sort of like kind of more shocking book, like sort of landmark pieces within the show. And it's what they're designed to do. They're designed to be, you know, there's a weird morally ambiguous thing about that. It's like, why is it okay to, like, how is this happening? And why is this okay? I don't feel good about watching this. And usually, like, that's for me, like horror movies and things like that, it's a big tick box. It's like, I like that discomfort, I like that unease. But for some reason in this one, it hit very differently.
I suppose, I don't know. It's more brutal towards a little kid.
It's really savage.
I
have this, like, I don't know if you have this. I certainly have this sort of mentality. Is I have a discomfort around violence or anger towards something that can't understand that interaction. That hurts. Like, I can't deal with that. Like, it really bothers me. So like, you know, people getting angry at their pets. Or stuff, like, I understand, but also, like, there's no reasoning there. Like, nobody in this situation is communicating in a way that anybody's understanding this. Like, or like things being put in danger that just can't perceive the outcome of that danger. It's just like, I don't like the concept of things not being able to fully engage with that situation, because it's weirdly upsetting.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I just think I'm emotionally dead, man.
I don't think that's true. I just it's I
thick skin.
I became pretty much an emotional wreck at some point in the last 10 years. And
that's when you start socializing me, right?
No, you're before then. But I think, like, there was a turning point for me where that but I think the interesting point to this is that was long before this. So that to me is why that is, I think, so memorable. Is like, I'm not a person who really had that as a problem. But that really stuck with me, and it's always done. It's sort of like with like Elfin Lied, like, you know, there's loads I forgot about that show that's uncomfortable and weird.
The killing of the wee dog or whatever it is in the school.
Holy crap!
That was it's like, what? What the?
That is savage, like, just savage, and the reaction to that is striking. You know, like,
literally.
Like, and that's the stuff, I think, like, again, it's that it's not that what I'm watching is morally ambiguous. It's clearly wrong. The morally ambiguous part to me is, am I okay to watch this? Am I okay to feel enjoyment for having seen that? Not because it's an enjoyable thing to have seen, but because it's made me feel a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll watch, like I say, I always bring it back to horror. It's like, I'll watch a horror movie because I want to feel scared or uncomfortable. And I'm not enjoying the discomfort on the screen. I'm not enjoying the horror of the scenes in certain instances, but I am enjoying having the feeling of that.
I mean, that's more be just to. It's like people do self-harm, man. That's just to do it to, like, to confirm,
just to feel something.
To feel something, and then you're doing it just to feel that. You know that you're feeling it, therefore you're like, cool, I'm not dead.
Yeah, I don't know. I have that.
That's my thought.
Well, I have that thing of, like, it is the same with music. It's the same with movies. Is I want that. Like, I'm trying, when I watch something, I'm eliciting a feeling from it. Like, That's what I want from it.
Yeah.
So things I struggle to engage with sometimes are things that I don't get that from. Like I don't
Yeah.
get that feeling from. So like a lot of the lighter hearted stuff
Probably
I
suits
like.
me with Gantz. Yeah.
Well, like it's Gantz, it's Lane, it's Steins Gate, it's School Days, it's like it's all of those. It's Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
It's all of those. It is eliciting an emotion from me,
Yeah,
and I like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why people experience these things.
But the problem with that is that it's very difficult to enjoy stuff that doesn't have that, because not everything needs that.
Yeah.
The emotion I could be getting from it is enjoyment.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is I'm enjoying getting the emotion of not enjoyment. You know?
Yeah.
It's the misery vampire code, I think, is the problem. Is that basically I get enjoyment out of the misery.
Yeah. I think that surely that's kind of self-harm kind of technique.
It's maybe, and we are not doctors, please don't listen to us, but it's maybe that same sort of mentality of looking to feel something. But
yeah.
I feel that it's like I say, is I am far more likely to engage with something like that than I am with something lighthearted.
Oh, see,
but the benefit to that is that I know when I really like something lighthearted because I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the lighthearted stuff and the emotional stuff. So that's kind of like I like the Wolf Chill Road because there's a lot of awkward emotion in that and unhappiness, but it's kind of cool. I like Summer Wars because it just kind of overall happiness through it. Even though it was like, oh, this thing's like taking over the world and ruined the whole thing, and it's hurting people, but the camaraderie of the family together has brought people together, and it was fun. I liked the race. I thought it was a good story. I don't know. It was a good story, and it seems to have turned out to be ends in a good way. If I remember.
What one? Sorry.
Erased.
Oh yeah, like that. Yeah, it's well. Okay. Here's my light-hearted one.
Yeah.
Totoro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's light-hearted, but it's about a missing child.
I suppose it is.
So you see,
Totoro.
Yeah. So here's the problem. Here's the thing that I think is why I engage quite strongly with the Japanese storytelling is there's no shying away from the darker side of life. It doesn't mean we have to show it like that, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to address it like that Child of Kaminari month.
Well,
that movie that was on Netflix, that is about a kid who loses their mum.
Oh yeah, and that's the one that kind of is traveling because he's the runner or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
My kids loved that movie.
That's a good movie.
It is a really good movie.
Over the Garden Wall.
Yep,
like that.
Love it. Exactly like that. That is something that engages with. But
that's a Western.
That is Western, but I think the interesting part about that is that has an 80s storytelling mentality. Yeah, that's a never-ending story. That's a labyrinth.
That's 40
that's
years
Dark
old
Crystal. But that's what I mean is that that's the storytelling level, and I think that there was an element of that in a lot of content, particularly children's content, in the 80s. I don't think that I think we shy away from that more now.
Yeah, a lot of Westerns. Well, I say a lot of Western cartoons have changed, but most of the stuff I remember as a kid was either like Tom and Jerry, Looney
Yeah.
Tunes,
Not much consequence to those.
He-Man, and Thundercats was probably the most storytelling based one. I remember like Dogtanian and Mysterious City of Gold
Yeah.
to a degree. Highlander? I remember Highlander being a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it wasn't then like the actual. I think it was more based maybe on the second movie plot where they're all aliens.
Oh god, it's the Dragon Ball Z of its time.
Yeah, the one that ruined the whole franchise because it's like, you know what, we're aliens, we're coming back. And I think it was because it had that main dude as like the bad guy. He had to go and hunt down, and it was like
Not a
a
good movie.
futuristic world.
The Quickening, is that right? Highlander 2, The Quickening?
I think it was the Quickening, yeah. Where was it is he the French guy who played the Scottishman, and the Scottishman played the Spaniard
So
in Highlander?
it was Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, he's French, right?
He's Raiden, yeah.
Yeah, but he's French.
I think so, yeah. Not very.
But like, and then
Like French by nationality, but I don't think he's.
Sean Connery was Scottish,
Yeah.
and he was the Spaniard, and not.
I'm Spanish. No, he's Egyptian.
I thought he was a Spaniard. He
Or
was
is
like
that
a
the...
Castador.
No, I'm not. I'm not Spanish. I'm Egyptian.
Oh, is he meant to be Egyptian? I don't know. Anyway, he was a Scottish
Yep,
person.
Ramirez, I'm not Spanish. I'm Egyptian. You said you were from Spain. You're a liar.
Yeah.
You have the manners of a goat, and you smell like a dung heap.
Yeah. Well, you got Christopher Lambert playing the Scottishman.
Yeah. Connor McLeod.
And the Scotsman playing Egyptian / Spaniard.
He's not that French. He was born in New York.
Yeah, and Sean Connery is not that Spanish.
Yeah, it seems like he was the son of a French diplomat.
Oh, all right.
Oh, he moved to Switzerland at the age of 2.
Yeah. Oh, it was Swiss more than Swiss then. French
Yeah.
Swiss. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, going by things, most of the things I kind of enjoy, like Steins Gate. I like Steins Gate because it wasn't like the oh shit, Mayuri. But it was like kind of more of the I suppose the romance and like I'm really no, I don't really care about everyone, but actually I do, and I'm going to try and fix as much as I can.
I think there's stuff to like about that. Like that's absolutely like it's one of the reasons that I will go back to it every time. Is it's one of the reasons I think Suzume is a perfect movie. Like,
Yeah,
I love it. It has everything I want in a movie. It has drama, relationships, comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark. It's twisted. It has a lovely story. It's just and like my kids have watched that like 10 times now.
Yeah,
they love it. Like and I get it. Like I get why you'd watch that and be like, this is great.
Yeah, that's it. It's just, but like I said, I suppose the darker stuff. But then I kind of like the Hiri Cast. I can't remember. There's the one about the weird time warp village. There's alternate realities of this thing happening, and everyone essentially kills each other in it.
What?
Hiragashi? We can't watch it because there's like 4 seasons of it. What was it?
Here we go. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it before. Who was it?
Yeah, it's Hiragashi.
Yeah, Hiragashi.
Um,
And I like that, but that's all like the fuck's going on in this.
Yeah,
Like, and I suppose that's the same with Steins Gate. The fuck's going on in it?
I like shock. That's what I like. I like things that make me uncomfortable.
And I like just like the fuck.
Yeah,
Like that's why I like things. And our next thing that we're going to be talking about.
well, I was going to say we'll move on. We should say
it's a good segue.
If you are self-harming, please do reach out to someone and don't suffer, please. But further to that, we've done a lot of heavy stuff this year.
We have a lot, like
Erased. Yeah, that's how the year started.
Kino.
Kino, yeah, we did.
Kino.
We did Kino. We did Pluto.
Yeah, that's not so heavy.
That was pretty heavy, man.
It was. Yeah, it was pretty dark and depressing.
It was a really good show, though.
All the Gantz.
Yeah.
Elfin Light. We did Elfin Light.
No, that
was last year.
I need to check when we did that now because I'm worried.
I think it was last year.
Oh God, yeah, we've been on a tear since Angelic Lair. We did Paprika, Elfin Lied, Paranoia Agent, Erased,
yeah,
Pluto, Kino, Gantz.
Yeah.
In just over a year.
Paprika wasn't too bad.
It was just a lot.
That was just like more what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Which I like. So anyway, we're moving on to happier things. And starting off the year, we're going to be watching Hexel Saga.
Yep, which I've never watched. And I think we have a few other shows. We're trying to come up with our calendar for the year at the moment of things we'd like to try and watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the lead from Colin a little bit more.
We're going to be happier.
We're gonna try and trend towards more happy stuff.
Yeah.
Because we have already said that we will I've already said I would really like to cover Uzumaki for Halloween next year. We didn't get it in time for this year, so I think I'll leave it and we'll watch it next year, which will be really cool.
Yeah.
But that's the one spooky commitment, I guess. The one more serious commitment.
The one ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
XL Saga is what we're going to watch next.
Yep.
After what's our bonus episode?
Golgo 13.
Golgo 13, which is an action thriller.
Yeah, action thriller.
So more heavy hitting seriousness.
It's supposed to be really good. It gets very very well reviewed and very well remembered by people.
Yeah, it was all right. I remember watching it once.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so this will be a good one for me, I think.
Hexel Saga is going to be a laugh, man. I'm going to watch your face as you go, the fuck am I watching, Colin?
I am looking forward to it.
Good.
I will say, as an aside, if you are interested in Gundam at all, I have started watching Witch from Mercury.
All right, yeah.
Wow.
That's the one. That's the one. It came out just on Netflix now, yeah.
It might be on Netflix. I'm watching it on Crunchyroll.
The kind of 3D one where it's like off the opposite side.
No, I don't think it's 3D.
Oh, then must be a different Gundam.
That one's Requiem for Vengeance.
Yeah, and that kind of like is a take on the opposite side of the conflict, where you're looking at the bad guy's view on the war.
Well, Witch from Mercury is about the different companies who make like robots, mech, essentially.
Yeah.
And their technology, but the Gund format, which is like the one that engages like a certain level with the pilot, are banned.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's a school where people go to learn to be pilots or technicians and things like that. And she is a girl who goes and has her mecha, which is actually a Gundam.
Oh,
And it's really good. Like the first episode is insane. It incredibly high production value, really well put together. The music and everything is just superb. Like it's really good.
yeah. Cool.
Big recommend.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna watch XL Saga. We got a couple of other things we're gonna try and add to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do a bonus episode where I can talk a little bit more about Gantz when we get the time. That might be quite cool.
Yeah. Steve's manga review, as we call it.
It'll be the first time we've done that. So
I mean, you're gonna have some goofy intro music. Go.
Well, just I was gonna say we'll just take the Charge Man Ken theme, but yeah, you were already on it.
Oh, was it? Oh, damn it.
Boom, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, we really need to end this because it's now tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy tomorrow, folks.
Happy tomorrow, and a happier day after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been listening to Who's That Anime, podcast entirely about anime. Our home is at anchor.fm/Who's That Anime. Thank you for joining us on this journey with Gantz. We'll look forward to seeing you in the bonus episode and then the next season, and our bonus episodes over the holiday period. We'll probably, hopefully you'll enjoy those too.
Yeah.
If you want to support us, you can by leaving a review. If you've already left a review or can't leave a review, depending on how you listen to us, then telling a friend is another great way to share. If you want to support us financially in any way, you can do by going to patreon.com/Who's That Anime. We can give you early access to episodes of this podcast and our other podcast, 5 Minute Fusion, which is a journey through Dragon Ball. I think around this time, like we've already said, we'll be about to engage in Dragon Ball Z, which is really interesting. We've made it all the way almost through Dragon Ball, so we'll get there. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Who's That Anime, where we post the latest episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord group. You can find that in a link for that in the show notes. Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of our episodes on youtube.com if you search for @Who's That Anime. We also have the RSS feeds for both podcasts, Who's That Anime and 5 Minute Fusion, attached to YouTube. So if you like to listen to your podcast there, you can do that too. Yeah. Colin and I sometimes like to play video games. So you can find Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. And you can find archives of everything that we've streamed on those by going to youtube.com and searching for @couchfuel or @hailpayman.
Yeah, that's it. We should probably just cut it there. We talked a lot already.
Sure have.
So enjoy, folks. That's is finally finished in Gantz. And I think the best way to end this episode is, oh boy.
Who's gonna do? Bang.
Oh, I did that earlier.
You did.
Yeah. Well, see you next time, guys.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Oh man.